to talk about today. We're just about to start in about 30 seconds. If you're new, subscribe. You're going to love this channel. This is the most pro-Trump channel on all of YouTube. I promise you that. We'll get some great stuff to talk about today. All right, here we go. Welcome, everyone.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Ah, yes. Oh, man. It's Wednesday already? Oh, my goodness. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the radio. Wow. All right, well, there's a lot to talk about on the program today. Now, I'm gonna pat myself on the back. I'm going to toot my own horn because something has happened that shows that I have been right yet again. You know, just in the last week and a half, I have been out front of so many news stories, and people have been criticizing me and making fun of me and attacking me, laughing at me for some of the things I've been saying, and then it turns out I've been right. And there's a new one today, but I want to go over the two in the last week prior to this. About a week or so ago, I was talking about Project Veritas firing James O'Keefe. People didn't believe me. People laughing at me. One guy called in, claimed to be friends with O'Keefe, work at Veritas. Not true, not true. Later that day, everyone was acting as if they broke the story when I broke it here. I was right about that. You know, I don't usually toot my own horn, pat myself on the back, and tell you guys what I'm right about things. But I'm doing it this time because there's a big one that even my wife was laughing at me when I was telling her this is what was going on. So the first one was James O'Keefe. It's just in the last week and a half. I mean, I'm not going to go through the story of my rightness over the years. Then yesterday, Chinese aircraft shot down, and the first shot missed. Where's the missing missile? People were calling in telling me, who says it's China? How do you know it's a China aircraft? Blah, blah, blah. This was the missile. It didn't happen. General Milli Vanilli said it was a Chinese aircraft that was shot down over Lake Huron, and did an entire press conference explaining that it's okay that the first missile missed, and it's all okay. Don't worry, people. So I was right about that. So, and this just in the last, that was yesterday. You know, so that's just in the last week. I'm ahead of the news all the time. Why is that? Many reasons. I do have contacts. I do have sources. They don't want to reveal their connection to me, which I understand. And I get info. I get intel sometimes. It's the way it is. Been doing this for a couple of minutes. So, you know, people reach out, get some info, got some contacts of well-placed people. There have been some other things in the last week, too, but those are two biggies. Well. Listen to this. The great governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, listen to this, this is a headline. Ron DeSantis got a glowing reception during a secretive, high-profile conservative summit at Trump Doral in Miami, and President Trump called in as well. I'm going to go through this whole story on this, but before I do, I've been talking for the last week that I think, and this just popped in my head the other day, about this time last week, middle or end of last week, can't remember which day it was, but it just popped in my head. And I talked about it here on the show. I talked about it on my podcast. And even my wife, I was talking to my wife about this on my last podcast episode. She was laughing at me on the podcast about this. I said that I think Ron DeSantis and Trump are working together. And I think they are. I know it sounds crazy with everything that's been going on lately, but I think Trump and DeSantis are working together. And I'll tell you, I said this because, well, I know Trump is brilliant, DeSantis is brilliant, and DeSantis is too smart to do something stupid, which is alienate the MAGA base forever. He would be in Mike Pence territory. He would be marked as a traitor forever. He would never recover from it and would never be able to win. It'd be over for him if he was truly opposing Donald Trump. And I thought to myself, well, you know what? Maybe what he's doing is giving the okay for all of these third-rate losers like Nikki Haley did yesterday to announce that they're running. And this could be a very interesting strategy because in the primaries, there's going to be two types of people voting in the Republican primaries when we get in the primary season. I know some states have a caucus. I've been talking about this for a week. And no one would agree with me on this. People laughing at me, making fun of me. They got to lose credibility, Brian. That's just stupid, people told me. I said, what DeSantis has done is given the green light for these third-rate losers, Nikki Haley's first out front, but Pompeo, Pence, and others, to run in the primaries against Trump. And there's two types of voters in the Republican primaries and the caucuses and all this stuff. There's MAGA Republicans, and then there's the Never Trumpers. And if we have 3, 4, 5, 6 people running against Trump, that divides the Never Trumper vote among these losers. Which means, boom, Trump walks right into victory in those primaries because his base is solid. And that's absolutely amazing. And even the Operation Chaos that Rush used to talk about, you know, we get these Democrats and trying to, you know, do things. Who are they going to support? They got like 5 people to choose from. This is awesome. And now this story today, which after the first break, I'm going to get into the details of it, I think is evidence that my theory over the past week is that Ron DeSantis and President Trump are working together is true. It's very true. So we'll take our first break of this Wednesday morning edition of the program. I'll come back. I'll get into this story. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you're calling us from. And don't forget, if you miss a portion of the program, you can always check out our show about an hour each morning after the show completes. It's uploaded on our radio station website as a podcast, TrueOldiesFLA.com, TrueOldiesFLA.com. You can even download the show there at TrueOldiesFLA.com. They're archived up there forever as well. Maybe you called in and you want to hear your call or save your call or play your call to your friends. You can do all that. TrueOldiesFLA.com. About 10 o'clock every day or so, a little bit before, a little bit after. The entire program is uploaded there each and every day. All right, let's take our first break. We'll be back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-CANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig on Oldies 95.9 and 106.9.
Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Building Restoration. We have been in the...
I was going to run to the men's room, but I don't have time. I'll have to wait till the bottom of the hour. This is awesome. An awesome confirmation that my theory was true. Yeah, this is a Florida shirt here in Ron DeSantis' free Florida. Florida oranges. Mm-hmm. Oh, boy. No, Pence is a traitor. Look at how Pence just bailed out Biden on the classified documents. Well, thank you, guys. Interesting. What?
Doers get more done.
Oh yeah, I hit the way pot's too high. This is awesome. Awesome stuff, people. I just drank right before I went on the air, like all this, and now I got to go to the bathroom. But I don't have time. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm coming back. Indeed it is. Callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian Craig. It is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Oh, man. Important question for you. Do you or someone you know or love have neuropathy? Oh, man. Neuropathy is awful, you know. And the neuropathy symptoms, it's really a disability. You cannot function on top of the fact that it's just incredibly painful. Numbness, pain. These are the major neuropathy symptoms. Numbness, pain, burning, this god-awful tingling feeling in the hands and the feet, muscle weakness, dizziness, loss of balance, muscle twitching, this torturous feeling of pins and needles in your hands and feet. Some people with neuropathy do not even have any type of feeling, any type of sensation. The symptoms make life unbearable. It's torture. Steve went to every doctor he could find, including a specialist, a neurologist. They said, there's nothing you can do. You have neuropathy. Go home. That's your life now, man. And then we found Lighthouse Medical Center. They have a treatment for neuropathy that works. They're located in Pompano. I know it works. I've seen it work in Steve, and many of our listeners have told me they're incredible success stories being rid of all of these neuropathy symptoms that made life impossible, thanks to Lighthouse Medical Center's neuropathy treatment. You know, Lighthouse Medical Center has been in practice for 71 years. 71 years in Pompano. That's amazing. With the same family. 71 years, same family, Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. Is that amazing? Now, listen, if you can't make it to Pompano, still call them. They can still help you, no matter where you're located. All right? Now, when you call, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio so you can take charge, or take advantage of, I should say. They're not going to charge you. It's a no-charge consultation if you mention you heard about them on the radio. Here's the number, 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. Online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. Give them a call and say bye-bye to your neuropathy. All right, so if you're on hold, stand by. Let me go through this story. This is an amazing story. I said about a week or so ago that Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump, I think, are working together. Now we know they are. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. This is, I'm reading from Business Insider. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis brought a large crowd to its feet in a speech over the weekend to an exclusive, powerful club of conservatives, all on a South Florida Trump property. The Council for National Policy held a summit this weekend at Trump's National Doral, which is in Miami. It's a golf club owned by President Trump. President Trump did not speak in person at the event, but he surprised the crowd by calling in about an hour after Ron DeSantis left the stage. This has been confirmed by multiple people in attendance to this private and exclusive event. I think Trump offered to phone in after DeSantis was speaking, one guest who spoke on the condition of anonymity, telling the Business Insider. There was no annoyance from Trump about DeSantis when he spoke. He was good-natured. He avoided mentioning the governor at all. He didn't even mention DeSantis. It was a brief stream of consciousness list of his own achievements, mentioning the Supreme Court a couple of times, said one attendee. Trump Doral hosts numerous GOP fundraisers and other events. This is where the LIV golf tournament was, by the way, last year. The Council for National Policy has been meeting for roughly 4 decades under a shroud of silence in upscale locations 3 times a year. According to the leaked directory, its membership includes leaders of a variety of conservative advocacy groups, including pro-life organizations and think tanks, as well as CEOs, wealthy donors, pastors, leaders of conservative universities, and right-wing pundits. President Trump's call seemed to be last minute. People didn't know it was coming in advance, but it may not have been. Organizers seemed unsure about exactly if he would phone in or not. Then he did. Governor DeSantis spoke for 45 minutes. This is amazing. This is amazing. Now, I'll go to the phones, but do you believe that this shows us that Governor DeSantis and President Trump are working together? And, yesterday, let me pull up this audio. Hold on, let me pull this up. I wasn't going to play this, but I think I'll play it. Because DeSantis was asked yesterday if he's running for president. Hold on, I wasn't going to play this, so I don't have it queued up. Here we go. So this is yesterday. Ron DeSantis was asked at a press conference yesterday if he's running for president in 2024.
Presidential run today, do you plan on following suit?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Wow, very good-natured, laid back. Wouldn't you like to know? He didn't confirm nor deny. Now, by the way, if DeSantis announces he's running, that doesn't mean he's not working with President Trump, It doesn't. He could run in the primary and still be partnered with President Trump. Listen, we all know that Ron DeSantis is not just the greatest governor in America and the greatest governor in the history of any governor in American history. He's also a stand-up guy. Do you think, I want you guys to think about this, if Ron DeSantis was going to oppose Donald Trump in the 2024 primary, it'd be a nasty race. If he was serious about doing that, would he go and speak at Trump's very own property in his backyard, Doral, in Miami? I don't think so. I don't think Ron DeSantis is that kind of guy. That's like speaking at Mar-a-Lago. And it's also interesting that this meeting was over the weekend, and we're only finding out about it days later. They kept it on the down low, very secretive, and it's come out. And, I just got a text message from someone, a friend of mine, and they were talking about Trump releasing the picture of DeSantis with the high school girls. I haven't seen that story anywhere in the news other than when we first talked about it. Have you seen it on Fox or any of these places discussed? No. The liberal media were going to release that story anyway. Trump releasing it neutered it, killed the whole story. They won't even run with it now because Trump did it. They won't even run the story. So Trump took that scandal, and that could be scandalous, don't get me wrong, that could be very scandalous. We talked about that when the story broke. President Trump posted it on True Social. And President Trump has neutered them on that. This is absolutely amazing. All right, every line on our board is lit. Our number 1-888 Gil Kane 1-888-465-2631. Now listen, I don't have time before the break to take a call. If I take a call now, you'll only have time to say hello and 2 words, and I'll have to hang up on you. So if you're on hold, stand by. I'll go to the phones after the break, I promise you. Okay, so if you're on hold, stand by. Phone's very busy already this morning. So if you are on hold, I would recommend you stand by. I do want to tell people I've been sleeping. It'll be a week tonight on the new MyPillow 2.0, Mike Lindell's new invention. It has that patented fill inside, but also this cool-in technology that keeps your head the perfect temperature all night long, your head and face. You never will flip your pillow over again because you're hot. It's amazing. Amazing. My wife and I have taken all the other MyPillows off our bed. They're now guest pillows. They're great pillows, but now they're guest pillows, and we are sleeping on the MyPillow 2.0. And with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, the MyPillow 2.0 is buy one, get one free. Take advantage of this. This offer is not going to last long. They are selling these pillows like mad. I was talking to MyPillow and Mike Lindell's office earlier this week. It's buy one, get one free, the MyPillow 2.0 with cooling technology. Your head and face will never be warm or hot again while you're sleeping. Buy one, get one free. You've got to use our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E at MyPillow.com. You can also order by phone, toll-free, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. We'll be back after this.
Making morning radio great again.
I think you're gonna really love it.
It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, I'll be right back, guys. Steve Kane Show. Hello? Hey, Richie, hold on. Steve Kane Show, hello? Hello? Hey, hold on. Steve Kane Show, hold on. Oh, man. This is exciting. An exciting day, guys. No doubt about that. Mayor Pete's a failure. His whole life's a life of a failure. He's, I mean, a lot of comments on my shirt, DMs, text messages from people. I've worn this shirt before, not for a while, but I don't know why I'm getting so many comments on my shirt today. Very bizarre. Well, I'm in Florida. Florida oranges, man. Well, I'm in Florida. Florida oranges, man. That's right. That means you're old, JP. My Anita Bryan shirt. That's right. I don't think I wore this shirt on the cruise. I don't think I took it. Or if I took it, I didn't wear it. I don't remember wearing it. All right, we are back. My name is Brian Craig. I am getting DMs and text messages about my shirt like nobody's business. I don't know what it is. You know, it's a weird thing on the radio. Typically on the radio, people don't know what you look like, but because I live stream on YouTube, I get the opinions on what I'm wearing all the time, and I've never gotten so many comments from people off the air about a shirt that I'm wearing. So it's a little bizarre. Anyway, let's go to the phones. 888-GO-CANE-1. If you're just tuning in, over the weekend, Ron DeSantis, our great governor, spoke at Trump's resort, Trump Doral, and President Trump spoke there as well over the phone. I think this is evidence that my theory that these two very brilliant MAGA men are working together. All right, let's go. Richie, the bus driver. Hey, Richie, first call of the day.
Good. Yeah, good morning. That shirt looks like you're going to the Tiki Bar when you leave.
The Tiki Bar. The Tiki Bar. Which the one in the Keys? The Florida Keys?
Yeah, the Key West and Marathon. Listen, I'm going to say what I think, and Kathy laughed at you. I believe in this. I saw President Trump in 2016 knock off all those Republicans, but he got publicity. He had people watching it was like prime time, every debate. Okay, then in 2020, he was the nominee, no debates, where the Democrats had free airtime to attack him on stage. There were like 11 or 13 of them. All they did was attack President Trump. So he never had, and then the only debates that he got into were with Biden. And Biden.
Well, let's slow down there, because you listen to this show for years and years, like Richie the bus driver has done, and you get very smart with your analysis. And you brought up something, Richie, I had not realized about why Trump would win primaries. When he ran in 2022, he was unopposed, so he had no primary debates, no primetime TV. If there's a lot of primary opponents, there's going to be a lot of debates, and the networks and the cable news will carry them. So it's a way to get lots of humongous publicity and expo. Absolutely, good point, Richie.
And it's also job interviews for future positions. They might muddy themselves up, but at the same time, they're going to be watched by independents, which we need, and they're going to be watched by crossover Democrats, which we need. So the bottom line is, Trump, no matter, I don't think that Judases are traitors. I would like to see 100 of them up there, because Trump will come out on top, and the exposure will be there. It's like I said, giant.
Well, this is what's going on. I tell you, never question Trump. He always knows what he's doing. That's why I never question Trump. Now, Ron DeSantis is quickly moving into that category. So I want you to think about this: the brilliance of Donald Trump. He just has a hand-picked Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, who, since Kevin McCarthy has become Speaker, has done everything right, just as Trump would do if he were Speaker. So, that's an awesome thing. And now he's come up with this brilliant way to get massive exposure on network television in prime time with debates during the primary. And what will happen is he'll knock these people off one by one, just like the first time, and then they'll come out and endorse him. So then we'll have the next debate. Nikki Haley dropped out. There's 8 guys left, but she just endorsed Trump that morning or something. Exactly.
Exactly, and then she becomes a possible running mate, and they all do.
You know, I wonder if if President Trump is listening in Mar-a-Lago, because they do listen to this program, okay, where our radio stations are in the listening area and all that, and they do listen, and he's up early. I don't know. Would he be upset that we're spoiling his plan? I don't know. Are we supposed to be talking about this, President Trump? It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I also think that the moderators at the debates are going to attack him on what happened January 6th and election denying, and he'll be able to get that out of the way. It'll be the Democrats won't be able to attack him on the same stuff. This is just a giant job interview when you see these debates. That's all it is, and he has the job.
Well, if you see now in the midterms, this fits in. In the midterms, we won in the House. We did, there were not a lot of seats up in the Senate. Okay, so it was impossible to win back then. We would have won big, and Trump he knows we would have won bigger in the House if he had exposure. They didn't carry the rallies. So now in this election cycle, these debates, the networks are obligated to carry them. They have their top people moderating them.
That's the biggest exposure he's going to get, because when he has his rallies, he's going to get his base, and he might get people that decided during these debates, well, I'm going to vote for him this time. So they'll watch. Mm-hmm. Networks won't carry him, and who cares at this point? I hope these debates last forever. I hope there's 20 people running for president.
Absolutely. All right, Richie, appreciate the call. That leaves one opening where Richie was. The rest of you on hold standby. I want to play another clip. So funny as you talk about these things. I have some clips. I had no intention on playing these clips. This is the great Sarah Palin. I love Sarah Palin. By the way, she still is hot. You guys think she's hot? I think she looks great. She looks great. It's too bad about her and Todd Palin, though. Her and her husband split. But anyway, Sarah Palin was on Eric Bolling on Newsmax. And Bolling asked Sarah Palin about DeSantis. Listen.
For him, it's going to be the more the merrier. Mm-hmm. Does he think DeSantis...
Oh, by the way, the hymn that she's talking about there is the greatest president ever, Donald Trump.
For him, it's going to be the more the merrier.
Mm-hmm. Does he think DeSantis jumps in?
DeSantis doesn't need to. I envision him as our president someday, but not right now. Everybody I speak with in Florida, they all love him, and he does set the tone for, I'd say, every other governor in the nation. I think he's our best governor. And he should stay governor for a bit longer. He's young, he has decades ahead of him where he can be our president.
Wow, I mean, that's Sarah Palin. That's yesterday. That's on Newsmax with Eric Bolling. Oh man, what a great time! What a great time. We thought we had MAGA divided. We're more united than ever before. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Montana, Mark.
Hey, Mark. What's up?
There's a couple of things. President Trump makes some brilliant moves that nobody could ever imagine. And we kind of thought Marjorie Taylor Greene was going against Trump, but she was working with him. So it's really exciting what's happening.
Isn't it? And now we got this new thing, Trump's, let me tell you, Trump's 2024 campaign strategy that we're talking about on the program this morning is probably the most brilliant campaign strategy in the history of presidential campaigns.
I agree. And I also like your shirt.
Well, thank you. I'm getting so many comments on this shirt. I like this shirt, and it's different. It's a bit bright. I love this. I've had this shirt for a while. I've only worn it once or twice here on the radio, but we're in a new era of radio when people are concerned with what you're wearing. Most guys on the radio, they look like homeless people. I get up and shower and dress My other friends that are on the air in different places, you would be shocked. Especially, I used to have some friends that were traffic reporters. They were the worst. I think they used to do the traffic coming home from the bars. I'm not talking about our traffic guys today. I'm talking about people in the past that I knew that did. They were the worst.
Well, you look really relaxed in that tropical shirt.
That's right. Well, hey, listen, I'm in Ron DeSantis' free Florida. So, how could I not be happy?
Have a nice day.
All right, Montana Mark. Oh, man, yeah, AAA Go Kane 1. I'm the only guy in radio that has people commenting on what they're wearing, I'm telling you. All right, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike.
We're looking at let's call it what it is, this secret deal, which is probably not a secret anymore thanks to this radio show, but this secret deal that DeSantis knows that he's going to probably be the guy in 2028, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's got it. It's locked up. It's already done.
So my theory is this. He's got to be in it just long enough to take enough of the so-called donors' money, number one. Number two, just long enough to get enough people in there. We know about Nikki Haley. We have a feeling about Pompeo, and probably because he's written that book that he's talking about himself all the time, and there's Mike Pence. He's going to run, so that's 3 already.
That's great.
Think about it. We're going to have probably 10 to 15 other people on the stage with him at the same time.
Well, that's good, and I'll tell you what that means is you got a race, you got a horse race, and the whole thing will be each debate who's going to be left, and they have that whole debate. Who's ever number one in the polls gets center stage. New polls out have Trump ahead of everybody. So he'll be in the center stage the whole time.
And that's the thing. Look, I like Sarah Palin. I would like her as a possible VP, but she's a little bit.
No. She's lost twice. You can't, and a lot of people are ticked off that she resigned as governor. We can use her on the campaign trail, but she's lost her last 2 elections, and you can't run with a loser. Hey, I got to run for the break, but good points, Mike. Thanks so much. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. There's one opening on the board where Mike from Louisiana was. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Back after this.
The cold, hard truth.
Well, I think we hit on everything this morning, guys. Hey, make sure that you like the video, guys. Only a handful of you have liked the video. Now, I want to tell you all that you want to go to MyPillow and get that MyPillow 2.0 for this buy one, get one free offer. That is not going to last. They've already told me. I don't know when it's going to expire, but they told me that is a temporary special that's going on, that this MyPillow 2.0 with cooling technology is selling much better than they imagine. So, because they figure, so many people have MyPillow, a lot of people will like this. It is selling like mad. So this buy one, get one free offer with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, is going to be over without notice. So go and get it. I know Rome said yesterday you ordered yours. You got to call and tell me after you sleep on it a night or two. It's beautiful. So the MyPillow 2.0, go to MyPillow.com, buy one, get one free when you use our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. Now listen, you can take advantage of all the specials at MyPillow.com with our promo code Kane, Kane, not just the ones I talk about. No matter what the special says, you can take advantage of it, but I'm giving you a little inside heads up. Take advantage of this buy one, get one free on the MyPillow 2.0 while it is there with our promo code Kane, Kane. That's what I did. I got the BOGO, the buy one, get one free. Awesome. You're going to get them. They'll come in quick, Rome. Yeah. No, they were telling me yesterday that they did not imagine that the MyPillow 2.0 would sell this fast and this big. Oh, boy. I tell you, what an exciting day, people. What an exciting day. All right.
Do you suffer from weak? Have you been told that you have bone on bone or need a knee replacement? Have you been told that you have osteoarthritis? Well, then come see us at White House Medical Center. We have non-surgical solutions that include rehab and injections that can prevent you from having to have surgery or prolong the surgery. We've been in practice for 75 years in South Florida. You don't have to live with pain any longer. 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642. We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, welcome back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Only one opening on the board at 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. If you're on hold, stand by. And remember, when you call this program, President Trump very well could hear your call. This is the radio station of Mar-a-Lago, and they do listen to us over there. I know for a fact. Got a text message a couple weeks ago. The week before the cruise, I got a text message during the show, and I was a little nervous after I got that one. Okay? I'm not going to tell you who it was from, but you can make some guesses. Now listen, call Sloman's. Tell them you heard about them on the radio and get your free doorbell camera. You know, the doorbell camera from Sloman's, it's part of our security system here at the radio station. You can track when people and packages arrive at your door. You'll know when there's movement at your doorstep. It's motion activated, and you get a clear, high definition video right there live. You can even communicate by voice, two-way, with the doorbell camera. That's right, without even going to the door, no matter where you are. I can talk to someone at my door if someone came to my door right now, even though, you know, I'm pretty far away here at the radio station. The motion sensor is amazing. You'll get an alert when there's a visitor at your door, even if they don't press the doorbell. There's night vision. The two-way audio is out of this world, and there's a mobile control on your mobile device as well. You can unlock the door right from the app when you get a doorbell notification. And, of course, you got the video recording of all the movement there as well. So you can go back and look and see who came to your door. Get your doorbell camera for free. Call Sloman's. Tell them you heard about them on the radio, and they'll tell you how you can get a free doorbell camera. Here's the number, 833-283-5050. 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050. You got to tell them you heard about them on the radio, and they'll tell you how you can get a free doorbell camera. All right, if you're just tuning in, we found out over the weekend there was a private meeting of very high-level Republicans where both President Trump and Governor DeSantis both spoke at Trump's Doral Resort in Miami, which is amazing. And this is, I believe, proof that what I've been telling you guys for a while, that everyone's been laughing at me about, is that Trump and DeSantis are working together. And Richie, the bus driver, brought up a great point. Trump wants a whole bunch of competitors so that he can get that primetime debate coverage that he didn't get when he ran unopposed last time. And I'll tell you, the fake news media have made such a thing of Ron DeSantis, they will not miss a television appearance with Governor Ron DeSantis there with our great President Donald Trump. This presidential campaign strategy is brilliant times infinity. And you're hearing about it first right here on this program today. All right, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. How you doing? My name is Maria, Florida.
Hey, Maria. What's on your mind?
Yes, I was calling. I was getting kind of concerned about Ron DeSantis, but, because I live in Florida and I know the good things he's doing. It's just that the people that he was hanging around, they was leaking out stuff about what he was saying about Donald Trump, and it was spreading all over the place, especially on Fox News. That's why I tuned him out, because I don't want to hear the foolishness no more. But those two guys, they need to work together, because all hands on deck here, because it's going to be a nasty drag-out fight. The Lincoln Project, Never Trumpers, they coming forward to try to get a victory out to try to stop Donald Trump from running, and we're not going to stand for that.
Well, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we're not going to go for that. We don't want to hear that anymore about Trump is this and Trump is that, and on investigation. Well, he wouldn't be up on investigation if these crazy people would just leave him alone, because they haven't found anything.
They will never leave him alone. He's a threat to their entire world.
Yeah, and it's just a disgrace that this is continuing going on. But he's a fighter, and he's not going to be defeated. They might well give up, and and just stop the foolishness. But I do believe that Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump will be able to get together. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I believe that's going to happen.
Yeah, hey, listen, Maria, thanks for the call. Oh man, this is exciting. Oh, do any of you have the Fox Nation app? I have it. I got it quite some time ago when Tucker Carlson had one of his specials, his January 6th special, which was brilliant, and I kept it. And I really don't watch it that much. On occasion, I will. And yesterday afternoon, I watched the Roseanne Barr comedy special. Roseanne Barr did an hour of comedy on the Fox Nation app. I love Roseanne Barr. I hope Elon brings her back to Twitter. Roseanne follows me on Twitter. And I've had some private conversations with her. I love her. If you've got the Fox Nation app, you got to watch the Roseanne Barr special. Now, in the beginning, she talks about what happened to her with her firing. So the comedy begins kind of like, maybe 15 minutes in. But you got to watch it. She is great. And I heard she was on Outnumbered yesterday, and I missed it. I don't know if they put that archived up online. I want to go back and watch that because I love Roseanne Barr. And her show, I didn't watch Roseanne when it was on TV back in the 80s or 90s, but I watched the reboot. And that was must-see TV. It was right after Trump's victory, and they had a MAGA hat hanging on the hat rack in the kitchen. Remember that? And it was just such a great show. And they were looking for a way to cancel it, and they found a way to do it. Okay, they had that Obama-Hillary donor running ABC, and they got rid of her for reposting that Valerie Jarrett meme that had been circulating for years. She didn't create that meme. But Roseanne Barr is back, and I love her. I've always been a fan of Roseanne Barr. The first time I saw her or heard of her was before she was famous. She was on Rodney Dangerfield's Young Comedian special that he used to do. Rodney Dangerfield, I think it was on Showtime, and I remember she was on there with, oh, goodness. I just forgot his name. Oh, yeah, it was Rodney Dangerfield Young Comedian special, and it was Roseanne Barr and Sam Kinison. And it was the first time I had heard of either of them, Sam Kinison and Roseanne Barr, and I remember watching it. I think it was on Showtime. And I thought, these two people are the funniest people I've ever seen in my life. And she's much older now, and I was telling my wife, I said, wow, it's so strange. I haven't seen Roseanne Barr do stand-up maybe since then. I've seen her on television and things like that, but I haven't seen her do stand-up. And it was so strange because my last recollection of her doing stand-up was that Rodney Dangerfield Young Comedian special, and now I'm seeing her here, and she's got like her grandkids in the audience, and they're like adults with kids of their own. I mean, it's crazy. But if you've got the Fox Nation app, you should definitely watch that. And I'm wondering if they're going to give Roseanne a show on Fox. And I don't mean the Fox Nation app, I mean on Fox. I'd love to see her on there on Saturday night, wouldn't you? Interviewing people. She knows everyone in Hollywood, and she is very, very good when she's involved in discussions with other people on television. I've seen her in those situations before, and I'd give her a show on Saturday nights on Fox, regular Fox. Wouldn't you guys? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. In fact, yesterday I went back after I watched her Roseanne Barr's stand-up act on Fox Nation. I went back online and actually found her stand-up from the Rodney Dangerfield special that I first saw. It was 1986, so I was 15. And I watched it, and it was great. It was as brilliant as I remembered. I didn't watch Kinison yet. I'll watch that maybe when I get a chance. But she was brilliant then. She's brilliant now. And, the thing about comedy, for a joke to be funny, there has to be some truth to it. No matter what the joke is, there has to be a truth to it that's being talked about for a joke to work and be funny. And what she says is so true and so spot on. And her comedy, I don't know how old Roseanne Barr is now, but she's not the young comedian anymore that she was on that Rodney Dangerfield special. But she's as relevant can be. She's probably the most relevant comedian out there that's nationally known. You know, I've always been a fan of stand-up comedy. I remember when Whoopi Goldberg did stand-up. I used to watch. She was funny. She was good. And then she got all political on The View, and she destroyed. She has no sense of humor anymore. But I remember Whoopi Goldberg doing stand-up back in the 80s, and she had those comedy specials. They were brilliant. And I would say what she's doing now is so relevant politically, Roseanne Barr. It kind of reminds me of, oh shoot, I've seen this guy's act 4 times in person. Who is the, I just had his name and I just forgot it. Who's the conservative comedian that used to do the news on Saturday Night Live? Oh boy, I just forgot his name. It's killing me. I cannot remember this guy's name. He's so funny. I've seen him in person like 4, maybe 5 times. Oh man, somebody will let me know. You guys know who I'm talking about? Dennis Miller, that's the name. I remembered on my own, no one reminded me. Dennis Miller. What she's doing now is kind of like Dennis Miller. Yeah, I mean, I would, you know, I have not gone to see a stand-up comic in person in years. I'd pay through the nose to go see Roseanne Barr in person. I would. Or if she got back on Twitter, I'd just send her a DM to see if she'd get me backstage. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, what's your name? Where are you calling from? Yeah, you're on the air.
Oh, Tracy. Hey. Tracy from Boca.
Hey, Tracy.
I want you talking about Republican comedians. I'm seeing Jim Brewer at the Black Box by Boca Raton, March 4th.
Uh-huh.
I think we should promote Republican comedians, and also Kay Vaughn, May 18th. And last time I went for my birthday last year, he got heckled. There were like 20 people in the whole thing. We had a table, 2 tables, my friends and I, for my birthday. But no, we need to go support these Republican comedians.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, the Republican comedians are the most relevant now because we're kind of on the outs. You know, we're on the outs. The left are running the country right now, and there's so much to make fun of. And, you know, shows like Saturday Night Live are irrelevant because they won't go there. They won't talk about what people really want to hear, right? You know, hey, listen, I got to run for a top of the hour break, but thanks for the call. All right. No. Listen, promos cost money on this program, okay? I mean, I don't know. If the Boca Black Box wants to advertise, they can call the radio station, okay? You can advertise. I'd like that. I live right down the street from the Boca Black Box, so they can advertise here. We'll have all their comedians on the show. All right, we'll be right back.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown.
Oh my goodness. Can't give out free commercials on the show.
Broadcasting from the Rome Studio. Injured recently? Call the Rome's Law Group, where winning is a habit. 561-570-5700.
I don't know about you, but I think she works at.
Yeah, she works at the Boca Black Box. As soon as she said it, I say, hey, because anybody else would say the Comedy Club in Boca.
Yeah.
And she's got the dates.
Everything.
Yeah. She's stealing, it's like shoplifting. It's stealing radio promotion.
She could have easily said, oh, I don't know the dates or anything, but I think they're coming to this.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm going to be getting calls from the station managers now. What's going on, you know? Because we're promoting, there's some great comics. The one from Gutfeld that's at the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Okay, I'm going to play something when I come back that you're not going to be able to hear on YouTube for all kinds of reasons. But, so, just so you know. Oh, man. I don't think the peacocks live in this tree that they told me they live in, because I've been watching that tree all morning since it was dark, and I haven't seen any movement. You can listen on iHeartRadio, be able to hear, but come back to my YouTube channel. It's only going to be one clip I'm going to play that you won't be able to hear on YouTube. But, you know. Just to give you a heads up. But it's only, let's see, it it's only like a minute long. Just one soundbite. But it's important. Make sure you guys like the video. Only like less than a third of the people watching live right now have liked the video. No, I've been watching that tree since I got here this morning before I even was streaming, and I didn't see any movement in it at all. So I don't think the peacocks are in that tree. And I've been looking at the top and bottom of it. I've seen no movement. Mm-hmm. JP, Trump and Ron DeSantis have been working together to draw out the rhinos. Yeah. I'll make a YouTube video tour of the radio station, and I'll show you guys the peacocks. I don't know how close they'll let me get, but they're full-size peacocks in the parking lot. They're massive. Massive. They look like what you would see at the zoo. There's a zoo not far from here. It's like they've escaped from the zoo. I don't know. They seem friendly. I haven't gotten too close to them. When the show's over and I leave, I always have somewhere I got to go, so I don't waste much time out there. I just see them and avoid them. I don't want to hit them. It's a busy parking lot, too. They are fast. I've seen them run. They're fast. But Mike told me that they live in this tree, but I haven't seen them come out of it. He says they come out at sunrise. I haven't seen them. Oh no, this is better. Oh, I gotta turn the air down during the next break. It is so hot. All the radio equipment and everything, it's hot. They can be... I don't think they'll let me that close. Well, they do here. All right, welcome back. Hour number 2 has begun. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, our number one 888 Go Kane 1. We had in the first hour, we just broke massive news yet again here on the program. Oh, man. I want to take a moment to talk about my chiropractor, Dr. Appleton. Dr. Philip Appleton is an amazing chiropractor. He really has changed my life. You know, not only did he rid me of my arthritis pain, which was brutal. Oh. You know, I had that in the knuckle. And I went over there for treatment with him for my knee and everything, and it was such a one knuckle, I was like embarrassed to say, and one treatment, my arthritis pain was gone, and it has not returned. It's been months. Arthritis pain is, I thought when I had arthritis pain that, I'm 51 years old now. I'm getting older, that's life. No, you don't have to live with pain. After one treatment, rid me of my arthritis pain. My years of pain in my knee was brutal. Oh, man. And I've been so much more active. You guys who follow me on YouTube, you've seen me, I've shown like 3 SpaceX launches. And, SpaceX launches all the time. And if it's a clear day out, I've been filming the SpaceX launches from my house. I've been doing that from the roof of my house. And with my knee pain that I used to have, it was not easy to get up on that ladder and get up on the roof of my house. Now, up and down with ease, no problem, no pain. It's amazing. After 2 treatments, Dr. Appleton rid me of my knee pain. It has not returned, and it's been more than 6 months. But Dr. Appleton, he's a chiropractor, and he does more than the laser away pain treatment. If you've been in an accident, if you've had a fall, if you've been in a car accident, call Dr. Appleton, and he will see you today. He's open 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday, and this applies to Saturdays as well. Call Dr. Appleton today. You will be seen today. And if you can't drive, he will provide for free transportation to and from his office for your treatment. Is that amazing? I've never heard of a doctor offering that before. Dr. Appleton does. Give him a call. Make sure you tell him you heard about him on the radio, okay? Here's his number, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. That's 954-973-0710. Online, AppletonChiro.com. All right, let me take a call or two before I get in the new stuff, okay? Let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Hey, Doug.
I like your opinion on something. I'm sure you're right about Trump and DeSantis working together now. But I don't get, why would President Trump say sanctimonious and show a picture of him instead of just letting them know, off the air? Here's what I have.
Great questions, Doug. Okay, now the sanctimonious is so mild. I don't even know if that's an insult. Compared to some of the things that Trump has said about people, that's so mild. Now, the photograph with the teenage girls pressing their boobs all over him and everything at the party, what he did is he took that story away from the left. It's like old news now. Trump released it. The media, it's all out there. The media wouldn't run with it, and he's taken the sting away from that story that the media would have used against him. So I told you guys that President Trump was actually helping Ron DeSantis by posting that picture of those girls with him.
I guess you're right, man. Kid never doubt President Trump, man. He comes up with stuff. That's why he had his apprentice.
He's a genius. Listen, Donald Trump is great at everything that he's done and everything that he does, okay? Even if he hasn't done it, if he does something new, he'll be great at it. But I think what his greatest talent is his ability to market and manipulate the media. And, Richie, the bus driver, added a little something to the conversation, that President Trump ran unopposed last time. There were no primary debates. The Democrats had endless debates because they had all these opponents, no TV time. Trump has a bunch of primary opponents, half a dozen or more, and it's going to be endless primetime and cable news coverage of those debates, which is exposure for him. It's brilliant, brilliant. Nikki Haley is working for Trump by running against him. Even that Benedict Arnold Pence is helping Trump if he runs against him.
This is great. Plus, he's back on all the social media. He's back on everything. So this is going to be what a great marketing campaign is going to be. Mm-hmm. Trump should win. So simple.
Oh yeah, this strategy is brilliant. Hey Doug, thanks for the call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey Brad, what's up? It's Jay, truck driver, Pennsylvania.
Hey, what's up?
Well, Well, this is awesome. This puts everything into context what we're talking about, right? So they asked Mitch McConnell yesterday, is it time to move away from Trump? Now, put it in context, bear with me for a second. Let's go back a few months ago when Trump had Kanye West, and then Kanye brought that white guy over, that extreme rightist guy, and then everyone was in an uproar. And they interviewed McConnell, and McConnell basically said no one hangs around with those kind of people or whatever will ever be in the White House. So let's go back to yesterday. They asked Mr. McConnell, is it time to move away from Trump? And he didn't say no. He just mumbled through the whole thing and said, I'm going to back whoever the Republicans vote for.
Wow, that's huge. And he hates Trump. McConnell hates Trump.
And Trump, right. So I think McConnell now is looking down the road, and doing the whole political flippity-floppity, spineless thing, and he's just kind of, trying to protect his own butt. And he's like, I'm just going to back whoever, the people put in. So I think...
Oh, boy.
Bash McConnell. If Trump continues to bash him, I don't know, does he? Or if now Trump kind of backs off McConnell, maybe okay, Trump's seeing now Mitch is getting in lockstep with everybody else.
Well, I think maybe Kevin McCarthy's probably talked to Mitch McConnell and his Chinese handler wife.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That maybe with the whole McCarthy thing in the House, maybe McConnell.
That means if Mitch McConnell has accepted Trump, that means China has.
Yeah. Wow.
'Cause that's his employer. All right. Hey, Pennsylvania, thanks for the call. Wow, this is amazing. What a great day. It's a great day. Great day. All right, our number 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. I'm going to do something I rarely do. I'm going to take a break on time. You're welcome to continue to call in on this topic. I do have a couple other things I want to bring up after the break, though, to throw into the mix because there is some other news, too. But I'll recap everything we've done. What I broke in the first hour of this program is so huge, so big, so newsworthy, I'm going to have to recap it coming up. But our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. That's 888-465-2631. Back after this.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action.
Wow.
The Steve Kane Show live on.
If you're new, make sure that you subscribe, guys. What a great, great day of news. I've lost my internet connection. Yeah, I'm going to get to the... Okay, got my internet back now. Yeah, we're on 6 radio stations. 5 FMs and an AM. Yeah, the new thing I'm going to bring up is the clip I'm not going to play on YouTube. So you guys will have to listen on the radio or iHeart or somewhere else to hear it. But it's only 60 seconds. Oh, man. This is an exciting day. Well, Mitch isn't up for a while. Is he? When's Mitch up again? Or is he up this time? This next time? Is Mitch up this next time? I think he might be. In 2 years? Is he in his 4th year? I've lost track of when he was reelected. No, he's at least 2 years, maybe 4 years into it. I can't remember. I'm not sure about that. I watched that White Noise trailer. I know it involves a train accident, but You know, I narrowly missed a massive train accident with an explosion. I'll tell people when we get back, because some of the locals may remember. It was 1990 something. I'll mention it when I get back so I don't forget. It's crazy. Bruce, where MAGA family comes to talk. Good morning. Yes, well, thank you, Bruce, and that is right on the money. All right, welcome back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. I'm glad Steve was with us yesterday to give proof of life to the audience. He's still under the weather. He's not 100% yet, you know. But I think he may be here today as well. I'm not sure yet. Haven't heard. Before I get to the new issues, I just wanted to mention, I meant to mention this yesterday, and I had forgotten. Some of you longtime South Florida residents may remember this. I missed by seconds a massive train accident and explosion right here in South Florida. And it was insane. This was in the early 90s, and I can remember who I was in the car with. And it had to be between 92 and 4. And when I mention what this incident is, maybe somebody in the audience will remember, but it was between 92 and 4, because I can remember who I was with. And I was when I was new in radio, and I was in the car with a guy that I went to broadcasting school with. And I remember, Tom was his name. Yeah, I remember him very well and where we were. This was on Cypress Creek Road, at the railroad crossing on Cypress Creek Road in Fort Lauderdale, just west of I-95. And I crossed the railroad tracks, just driving down Cypress Creek Road, crossed the railroad tracks, and I got on the on-ramp for Cypress Creek Road. And you guys know that area. The railroad tracks and Cypress Creek Road are pretty close. And I don't know, 30 seconds after I crossed the railroad tracks, there was this humongous noise followed by an explosion. I was inside the car in the front seat, and I could feel the heat. A train came through and hit it's been a long time. It was between 92 and 4. I know it was in that area, early 90s. It had to be a gasoline truck, a tanker truck. And it exploded. The flames, I mean, I couldn't believe. I was on the on-ramp to Cypress Creek Road. I can't remember if it was northbound or southbound. It's been a long time. I haven't thought about this in years, but we were talking about that train accident in Ohio. It reminded me of it. And a lot of people were killed. If I had not crossed that railroad track 30 seconds earlier, I very well may have been dead. What happened, this gasoline truck, someone told me March 17th, 1993. See, I told you, between 92 and 4. And this gasoline truck somehow was stopped on the railroad tracks, and when the train hit it, it exploded, and a bunch of people that were waiting for the train, that actually were not on the tracks, right, were back where you were supposed to, were killed from the fire. They were cooked in their vehicles. And I remember I heard it, and I felt the heat as I was getting on the on-ramp at Cypress Creek Road, and I looked back, and the fire, it was massive explosion, went as high up into the sky as I could see, and I was counting my blessings, because about 30 seconds, and I would have been a part of that. And anybody remember that train accident here in South Florida? It was pretty scary. And someone told me it was St. Patrick's Day. Now, and I was probably on my way to a pub somewhere with my friend Tom, who I had a big falling out with, unfortunately. We were good friends. We had this falling out. I don't know. I don't remember why. Probably something stupid. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Louise, the best lady.
Hey. Hey, Louise.
Happy with all this news you brought up, but I do remember that accident
Yeah.
very well. I just wanted to say to even listeners, I always stay back from the railroad crossing gates to give myself an out. You always people go right up to the gate. Never do that. You have to give yourself an out where you could just veer off to your right to get away.
Yeah, I do that. I actually do that at any stop. If I'm at a red light or something, I always make sure there's enough room for me to escape, just in case I'm going to get carjacked or something. You know, I drive defensively. I'm serious.
My sister and I remember times when the gates did not go down. We were here in 1968, and there were times there were glitches. Twice it happened where the gates didn't go down, and my sister missed a train passing by. The gates never went down, so it can happen. So just stay back.
Oh yeah, and you know, you look, you know, in these accidents with the Bright Line, you know, and you go online, if you watch some of the accidents, it's people trying to beat the train or driving around the barriers and all this stuff, just a bunch of idiots. But yeah, that accident in '93 when that train got hit, it hit that gasoline truck that obviously was full. I mean, I haven't thought about that in so long, and I'm thinking about it. I mean, oh my gosh.
You worked in a building, I think it was an insurance building, right there on Cypress Creek, you know, so it was just a horror, that whole thing.
Oh, yeah. I was 30 seconds away from death. You'd be talking to somebody else if I had gotten there 30 seconds earlier and didn't leave. You wouldn't be talking to me. You would never even knew who I was.
Where were you? You had just passed?
I was with my friend Tom, and we had crossed that railroad, that track is just west of 95. We had just crossed the track, and we're getting on I-95. And I remember that when I got on 95 and I got up higher, the flames were still going. I was up higher on 95, and the flames were as high as I could. And let me tell you, the heat from that explosion I could feel it. I mean, it was, even though I was that far away, I've never experienced anything like that. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, I worked in that area on Oakland Park Boulevard, so I remember it well.
Oh, well, if you're driving down Oakland Park Boulevard, you definitely want to leave enough room to escape at every red light in that neighborhood. Oh, my goodness. Oakland Park Boulevard, it just gets... it never gets better. It just gets more and more sketch all the time. We don't have any sponsors on Oakland Park Boulevard, do we? Okay, I'm going to make sure, because they'd be in the good, safe area of Oakland Park Boulevard. But the rest of it, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right, now, I know it's scary stuff. Near death. I've had too many of those things. All right, our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Now, after the bottom of the hour, I'm going to get into something here. I'm going to play an audio soundbite that I think is important to play. I'm not going to tell you what it is until we get back, but there's been a development in something that people have been talking about for the last couple of weeks, and we'd not talked about it on the show at all. And there's been a development, so we're going to have to talk about it. And it's something I really didn't want to talk about. I didn't want to share, but it's something we're going to have to share. I'm going to do it after the bottom of the hour break. You will not want to miss this. And it'll really shed some light on things that people have been talking about. Now, I want to tell you, I was talking yesterday, you know, the price of food at the grocery store has gone through the roof. It really has. And my wife and I discovered something that I'm going to tell you all about quite a bit. It is cheaper to eat out than eat at home these days. It really truly is, because, you know, restaurants, they got to be competitive, they, you know, and all this stuff. They're struggling, so they need your support and help. But Anne Marie's, my wife and I were doing takeout from Anne Marie's. You get homemade, home-cooked, great Italian food, and we get takeout. We got like a couple days meals out of it. We just heat it up at home, and it is a lot less expensive than eating out and preparing. It used to be the other way around, right? It used to be cheaper to make your own food at home. Not anymore. And when you go to Anne Marie's, get those Italian favorites. Whatever you get is going to be delicious, but Get the spaghetti and meatballs. Get the lasagna. Oh, the baked ziti will just blow your mind away. They have great specials at lunch, too. Always huge portions. Everything on the menu is delicious. Anne Marie's is located in Pompano on the northwest corner of US 1 Federal Highway and Copans Road in the same plaza as the movie theater. When you stop in, make sure you tell them you heard about Anne Marie's on the radio. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great.
Yeah, this is the clip I'm going to play that I'm not playing on YouTube when I get back. I'm just going to get to it. Yeah, that train accident, that was, it is. I'm not kidding. Think I just made that up? It is cheaper to eat out than eat at home. Oh, boy. There's over 1,000 of you in the live chat, and less than half of you have liked the video. So like the video, guys. That helps out a lot. Something's going wrong. Have I converted the mask lady? That's like her second call where she was positive about me. I didn't give her a hard time about it because I don't want her to realize that. I think I've converted the mask lady. Kathy's doing okay. My wife's been having some problems the last few weeks, so she's a little better, but still having some problems. Now these clips, what order am I going to play them in? Let me do this one first. The first clip you'll be able to hear on YouTube. The second clip you will not. Yeah, guys, please like the video. That helps out so much. I have no idea. When you like the video, it tells the YouTube algorithm to recommend this video and my other videos to people that have not yet found my channel. And that helps the channel grow and get me closer to that 100,000 mark. Oh my goodness. I know some of you have been with my channel for a long time. I have over 57,000 subscribers now. Can you remember how many people were subbed to my channel when you first started watching me? Does anyone remember? How many subs did I have when you first started watching me? I'm at 57,000 now. You may not remember, but if you do remember, let me know.
Thank you guys once again. I listed a show since the mid-80s. Thank you for introducing me to Dr. Appleton, Brian and Steve. I went in there last week.
27K. Wow.
I feel so much better. I brought my mother there yesterday. She has a problem with her right side or
11K. 28K. Wow. 42K. When I started live streaming on YouTube, I had around 3,000. You go way back. Lisa, I just got a friend of mine to sub to your channel. Well, thank you, Lisa. When I first started live streaming on YouTube, I had like 260 subs. I want that silver play button. I'm going to put that silver play button right here. 43K. Yeah, so guys, help me get to that 100K. I want that play button really bad. Found me in 2019. It's very hard for a white MAGA guy to grow. If I were black, I'd be over 100,000. If I were a girl with big boobs, MAGA, I'd have over 100,000. But it's hard for just a white guy with a guitar, you know. You were one of my first subscribers? I bet you were, Sandra. You're a long-time listener. I had about 260 subscribers when I first started live streaming. See, it's Legion. Where are Navy vet brothers? Yeah, I'd like to hear from some pilots. Well, I'm glad you found me too, Lisa.
Activities for everyone to enjoy. This month, stop by for fun events like our 2-day Super Bowl prep party and our Valentine's-themed kids workshop.
Yeah, I was on Periscope before. I used to live stream on Periscope, which no longer exists. Thankfully so. Periscope was just disgusting. It was, I called it the dark web. The things that were on Periscope, no one should see. It was a dark place. I don't know if Elon will bring it back. He's talking about bringing back Vine. You remember when I hit 5,000? Wow. Now that was a big day.
My doctor told me my blood pressure is borderline.
Well, I'm approaching 60 now, but I want that silver play button in the worst way, guys. I really do. Most people watch when they're like in the bathroom, probably, right? Because of the time of morning. That's right. Well, you guys can make it happen.
I'm taking charge with garlic healthy blood pressure formula.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
See if it's not just ego that I want the 100K. There's reasons why. I'll tell you next break if you remind me. All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane will be with us today. All right, just got a message. Okay, so there's a story that we have not talked about at all, I don't believe, on this program. I may have talked about it on my podcast, but I don't think we played about it, or we talked about it here on the radio. Did I say played about it? I'm about to play a soundbite, and I got my thoughts mixed up. And, you know, Alzheimer's setting in. But that's okay. Getting Alzheimer's, we'll get a sponsor that'll treat Alzheimer's, and I'll do spots, if I can remember, for an Alzheimer's treatment plays. This story about the Proud Family cartoon in Disney, we've not talked about. And there's been a development, and I'm going to play you two sound bites. The first one I'm going to play is a leaked Zoom meeting clip from the Disney executive, the radical, black, gay, female Disney executive in a Zoom meeting that is all over social media today and will probably be on television today or tomorrow or by the weekend. And she was talking about how when she went to Disney to work, she was afraid she wouldn't be able to get her gay agenda through, and she found out that she could. So the first clip I'm going to play is this new development. This is a Disney executive who's the executive who works on this Proud Family show that people have been talking about that's radical and anti-white. Listen.
I love Disney's content. I grew up watching, all of the classics. They have been a huge, informative part of my life. But at the same time, I worked at small studios most of my career, and I heard, you hear whispers. I heard things like, they won't let you show this at the Disney show. And I'm like, okay. So I was a little, sus when I started. But then my experience was bafflingly the opposite of what I had heard. On my little pocket of, Proud Family Disney TVA, the showrunners were super welcoming, Meredith Roberts, and, our leadership over there has been so welcoming to, my, not at all secret gay agenda. And so, I feel like
She just slipped it through my radical, not so radical, or my radical, not so secret gay agenda, she says.
Over there has been so welcoming to my not at all secret gay agenda. And so I feel like I felt like it was, maybe it was that way in the past, but I guess something must have happened in the last, they're turning it around, they're going hard. And then all that momentum that I felt, that sense of I don't have to be afraid to let's have these two characters kiss, let's in the background start, I was just wherever I could, just basically adding queerness to if you see anything queer in the show, I'm proud of it. But I just was no one would stop me and no one was trying to stop me.
Wow, okay. So that's new. That's a Zoom meeting that she had, and she was bragging. and somebody recorded it and released it. And she is, let me pull her up. She's an executive at Disney. I got an article that tells us who she is. Before I play the next clip, let me find this, because I want you to know who she is, and because I'd forgotten her name, but she's got an important job over there. I know I've got it here. It can't be too far, because I did read it this morning, and I did tweet it. Here she is. Okay. I have the article. I'm vamping for myself as I'm pulling up the article. You know, all of my show prep I tweet, so if you follow me on Twitter, you get all my show prep. And what I do when I'm on the show, when I'm on the air, is I just go through my Twitter feed. That's where my stack of stuff is. Her name is Latoya Ravenue, okay? And what is her job? Let's see here. Let me find out what her job title is. She is a biromantic asexual. She describes herself. I don't even know what that is. What is a biromantic asexual? I have no idea what that is, but that's what she identifies as. That's why I had to look up the article, because I could not remember that one. And she's an executive director of critical race theory to children's programming at Disney. Okay? And, you know, this is an important piece, because Ron DeSantis has talked about how they're using critical race theory to get gay agendas through, and he talked about this a couple weeks ago. That's why he wouldn't allow some of these books in public schools, and they attacked him for it. Now we have this critical race theory director and executive at Disney who's putting gay things in everything she can through critical race theory. She's hiding it in critical race theory. And she's in charge of this Proud Family show that is very radical and anti-white that everyone has been talking about. I'm going to play a clip of the Disney Proud Family show to you right now, and you really got to watch what your kids watch. Okay, you got to watch it first. You need to know what your little kids are watching. You know, a lot of people, they got the Disney Plus app. You know, I've got Disney Plus. I love Star Wars and these new Star Wars shows. They're all there, and I like a lot of things. Last week I watched The Black Hole. You know, a great movie. I love The Black Hole. You know, I love Disney. I love Star Wars, and it's there on the. But people plop their kids down in front of it and go about their day while their kid. You don't know what your kids are watching. This is a clip from the show that executive's in charge of, Proud Family, that people have been talking about the last week that we haven't played. It's pretty radical. Listen to this. Yeah, I know, pretty scary stuff, and that's the part of the Proud Family that people have been freaking out about over the last week. It's pretty radical, and you hear the executive talking about it. By the way, the couple of people she mentions, Harriet Tubman and Frederick Douglass, you know, Frederick Douglass was a Republican, you know. That's right, he was a Republican. Was not a Democrat. The Democrat, he escaped from a Democrat. He was an escaped slave. He was enslaved by a Democrat. Harriet Tubman stole slaves from Democrats and led them to freedom to the Republican-controlled North. But don't let reality and truth get in the way of the radical revisionist history. It's very dangerous stuff. Okay, many people played a great role in everything involved in America's history. Slaves had a role, but they act like slaves did everything, and white people just sat back and were sipping on mint juleps all day. That is not the case. Who built the railroad? The wagon trains, everything. Come on, give me a break. People don't realize. I took a class in college, the history of Florida, which is a pretty interesting thing. And when they came to Florida and they settled northern Florida, and the farmers, what they had to do before they farmed? This isn't prairie land. They had to chop down in the 1800s, they had to chop down the trees and get the stumps out of the way. Can you imagine what that was like? And these were not slaves that did this. Maybe on some of those plantations, but those were just regular guys that had farms with their family. This is scary, and this goes into that black national anthem nonsense that's been going on since the Super Bowl. There's a major movement by the left to divide whites and blacks. We have achieved racial equality. If you were writing a book that was the history of the civil rights movement in America, you could start it in 1619 if you want to feel good. But the final chapter is Barack Obama's re-election. When he was sworn in for his second term, that's in my book, the official end of the civil rights movement, racial equality finally achieved in this country. First time you could say, well, it was an accident. Second time when he got reelected, no accident. Okay? And we've been in a post-racial society, officially, I believe, since 2012 when Obama was reelected for his second term. I didn't vote for the guy either time, and he's very problematic, and he is all the things that we said he was. But that's the end, and we're in a post-racial society now, and they just won't let us get there. They want to bring us back because that's what Democrats do. Democrats stay in power by dividing groups of people, and they are going full steam ahead on racial division. All right, we're going to take our last break of the second hour. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. Our number 888-GO-KANE-1. Back after this.
The cold, hard.
That was the audio I said I wasn't going to play on YouTube.
Buying new tires because you thought they were too expensive? Find friendly prices at Friendly Tire in Margate on both new and used tires. New tires as low as $70 a tire. That's out the door and on the road because Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire or mount the tire. They have thousands of used tires starting at just $30. Call for a quote right over the phone.
I'll be right back, guys.
977-9445.
Oh, I was saying the reason I want to get to the 100,000 is not just to get the silver play button. I want the silver play button. Don't misunderstand me. Who doesn't want that? But if I get that 100,000 subs, I can start getting some TV bookings on some of the different TV news programs. That's why I want to hit the 100K. And if you've seen me do TV before, like my C-SPAN, I'm not bad on TV. When you hit 100,000, YouTube sends you a plaque, a silver YouTube play button that you can hang on the wall. It's huge. All right, welcome back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Important question to ask you. Do you or someone you know or love suffer from neuropathy? If you do, you know what it's like. It is torture. And the doctors will tell you there's no treatment. Well, you know what? The doctors are uninformed and are liars. There is a treatment, and it is at Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. Lighthouse Medical Center has a neuropathy treatment that works. I know it works. I've seen it work in Steve Kane and many of our listeners. The symptoms of neuropathy that Lighthouse Medical Center will rid you of are literally just torture. I don't know how people live through this. And this is a constant thing that you're having too, right? Numbness, burning, pain, tingling in your hands and feet, loss of balance, muscle weakness, dizziness, twitching, this feeling of pins and needles in your hands and feet. Some do not even have feeling, have no sensation. Lighthouse Medical Center is offering free consultations if you mention you heard them on the radio. Their treatment works. This medical practice, Lighthouse Medical Center, has been in practice with the same family for 71 years in Pompano. 71 years this year. I believe they're probably the longest running medical practice in Broward County. 71 years with the same family. That's important, okay? This isn't a medical practice that has been sold a bunch of times and they kept the name. The same family, 71 years. That's amazing. And that says a lot about the credibility of Lighthouse Medical, doesn't it? Absolutely. Now listen, if you can't make it to Pompano, still call them. If you can't make it in, they can still help you. I'm going to give you the number. Again, make sure you mention you heard about them on the radio so you can take advantage of their no-charge consultation. 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642. Online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. All right. Now, I want to recap something that I talked about right at the top at 6, and there's an addition to it that I did not get into in the first hour. Yet again, I've been proven to be right and ahead of very many people on a lot of important issues. It has just been uncovered today that Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump are working together in this 2024 campaign. And I'm going to walk you through it, and I got a new little piece of the puzzle here that I didn't share in the first hour, okay? But I got to recap for people that are just waking up and tuning in. Over the weekend, Ron DeSantis spoke at a private meeting with top Republicans, including donors, pundits, and others, at Trump's Doral Resort in Miami. He was at the Trump Doral. He spoke there. Private meeting. Just leaked out. Just finding out about it this morning. President Trump also spoke there. Now, President Trump was not there in person. He did it by phone. And, you know, Ron DeSantis knows as well as you know that, and even more so, he's a very smart guy. You know, he's Mr. Perfect. He's annoying. He was even in the Little League World Series, this guy. Give me a break. A lawyer, Little League World Series, you know. All right, enough of your success. I mean, he's like the Letterman, you know. He's the guy you hate in high school. But he's a great guy and the best governor ever, and he's very smart. And he knows that if he was really opposing Donald Trump in the primary, they'd have to go after each other. He would be marked with the peace sign for Pence. He'd be like Pence. He'd be a traitor. He would never recover. Because me and the rest of the MAGA people out there would never forget nor forgive or trust him ever again. He knows this. And I know that he's a stand-up guy, and he would not go and speak at an event at Trump. That's like going to Trump Doral is like going to Mar-a-Lago and speaking. He wouldn't do that if he was going after Trump. And Trump spoke there as well and did not say a negative thing about Governor DeSantis. Shows they're working together. Now, Nikki Haley's thrown her hat in the ring, and there are some others we're going to be announcing soon, right? Pompeo and Pence and a bunch of others. Okay? And DeSantis is working with Trump. And this is the thing. Richie, the bus driver, picked up on something. He called in the first hour and picked up on something. I want to give credit where it's due. Richie picked up on something that I had not realized. In the last election, President Trump did not have an opponent. The Democrats had a primary with a lot of people running and many debates. The debates, even in primaries, are covered on network television and the cable news. They get a lot of TV coverage. President Trump didn't get that TV exposure because he didn't have any opponents. There were no primary debates. The Democrats did. So President Trump wants to have as many primary opponents as he possibly can so that he gets that TV exposure. And the fake news media and the never-Trumpers, they don't realize, even if they were to hear this program, they wouldn't accept this. They hate Trump so much, they can't see reality. So you can tell them this to their face, and they won't hear it because they don't want to hear it. They are behind DeSantis because they think he's working against Trump, and now we know he's working with Trump. If there's a Republican primary debates in all these different states, you got Trump, Nikki Haley, Pompeo, Larry Elder, Huckabee, and I mean Sarah Huckabee Sanders, DeSantis. They're going to be on all the networks and the cable news live. Huge exposure for Donald Trump, especially with DeSantis there because they love this guy. They want to see how it turns out. This is a way, President Trump is a genius when it comes to media manipulation. And he will get exposure on the networks and the cable news that he would never be able to get with all these opponents, especially Ron DeSantis there. It's a brilliant strategy. And some of these other Republicans that are going to run in the primaries are probably working with Trump too for the same reason that Ron DeSantis is, to get this exposure for him on TV. And what will happen is they'll drop out one by one, and when they drop out, they'll endorse President Trump the day before or the day of the next debate, one by one. And this is it's a brilliant strategy. And listen to this. This is brand new. I posted this on Truth Social, and I tagged President Trump. He retweeted me a couple of times when he was on Twitter. Maybe he'll retruth me. But listen, Donald Trump, this is in Breitbart this morning. President Donald Trump leads the rest of the potential 2024 Republican Party primary field by double digits in a pair of polls published yesterday. Trump holds support of 43% of registered Republicans in a Reuters poll, placing him 12 points ahead of his nearest competitor, Ron DeSantis. So he's double-digit lead against Ron DeSantis. DeSantis is backed by 31% of respondents. Mike Pence is 3 with 7%. Who are these 7% of registered Republicans supporting Pence? Haley at 4%. Now, this doesn't factor in her announcement and the interviews that she'll be doing and everything in the coming weeks as she just announced. He's got a double-digit lead ahead of Ron DeSantis by 12 points. Is that amazing? And that's a 3-point margin of error. He could actually be 15 points ahead of Ron DeSantis because of the margin of error. So he is far ahead of anyone. This is beautiful. And when we go to these primaries, we want to have a whole bunch of people. We want to have as many people running against Trump in every primary that we possibly can. Because what will happen is Trump will get the MAGA vote, the MAGA Republicans. The never-Trumpers in the primary, their vote will be split between DeSantis, Haley, Pompeo, Pence, whoever's running, Larry Elder, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, whoever's running, the never-Trumper vote's going to be split. Boom. Trump, who's already double digits ahead with all these competitors, will win every primary, just like the first time. This is the most brilliant strategy that any president has ever running for president of the United States. It's beautiful. It's something that's never been done before. And you got to give him credit for this. And I feel comfortable talking about this because it did leak out about DeSantis being at Trump Doral for this secret meeting over the weekend. And as I said at the beginning of the segment, these never Trumpers they have like stage 4 Trump derangement syndrome. All this stuff I'm talking about, they would never allow to sink in. They hate Trump so much they could never let this sink in. So it's a lot of good news and a lot of things to be happy about in the MAGA world today. All right, now Steve's going to join us after the top of the hour break. And, this stuff I'm talking about, you're hearing it here first. And, people have been laughing at me. I've been talking for the last week and a half that I think Ron DeSantis is working with President Trump and Trump's working with DeSantis. And people have been, even my wife has been telling me I'm nuts, laughing at me. Okay? And now this secret meeting that DeSantis had at Trump Doral this past weekend, proves that I was right about that. Why else would he be there? It's absolutely amazing. Amazing. Hey, listen, we got two smart guys here. Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump. They know what's going on. All right, our number is toll free, 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. 1-888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you are listening to us at. Now, remember, if you miss a show or a portion of the show, you can always catch what you missed on our radio station website, trueoldiesfla.com, trueoldiesfla.com. About an hour after we go off the air every day, the entire show is uploaded as a podcast. So maybe you missed a part of a show or missed a show, you can get it there. They're archived up there too forever. Or maybe you called in and you want to hear your call, or you want to download your call and save it so you can play it for your own personal enjoyment or show off to your friends. You can do that there as well. trueoldiesfla.com. About an hour after we go off the air, the show is uploaded there every day. And you should definitely check that out and listen. Never miss a show or a part of a show ever again. trueoldiesfla.com. All right, Steve will be joining us after the top of the hour. We'll go to the phones. We don't have time for calls right now, and there are a few other things that I have not gotten to that we'll get into in the final hour of today's program. Our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE 1. That's 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. Brought up a lot of great topics today. I think we've really hit on some big stories on the program. We've really been hot. The last week or two, since we got back from the cruise, we've really been breaking a lot of news, right? We broke James O'Keefe's firing at Veritas. We broke the missile missing the target. And now we've got this Trump DeSantis story. All right, we'll take our break and be back right after this break. Dead air, what's going on?
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Broadcasting from the Rogue Studio. Injured recently? Call the Rogues Law Group, where winning is a habit. 561-570-5700. 561-570-5700. Rogues, winning for you and our community. Your home for the Steve Kane Show. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created, here's the Oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well. It's going to be a beautiful day across South Florida. We're going to see plenty of sunshine. Highs are going to go up to about 80 degrees. Partly cloudy skies, and it looks like light east-southeast winds. So a gorgeous day ahead. I'm WPM 25 First Morning Meteorologist Sandra Shaw. Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best of the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
The Palm Beach commuters still in great shape this morning on the expressways. I-95 and the turnpike remain crash-free, but I find moving up to speed now.
northbound between Lake Worth Road and Southern Boulevard. 95 heading southbound is also getting pretty slow between Lake Worth Road and Boynton Beach Boulevard. The surface streets remain crash-free. In Broward County, we have a multi-vehicle crash on Clear Night, 95 heading northbound to Sunrise Boulevard, where University Drive northbound is closed by a vehicle fire between 36th Street and 33rd. Take Pine Island or Davie Road instead. This report is sponsored by Reese Windows and Doors. Most windows are installed by Reese in just 6 to 8 weeks.
Steve Kane Show. Mm-hmm. A lot of troll activity today. Steve Kane Show. Hey, look. Someone took some of my commercial copy. I'm on Rumble, but I don't upload much there. I haven't uploaded anything there in a long time. No one watches me on Rumble. Subscribe here, guys. I mean, there's only so many platforms I can handle. I'm a small-time operation. I got me and my wife, you know. So I think Rumble. I think it's a trap. It's for conservatives. So many conservatives have canceled themselves on other platforms. They go to Rumble. Rumble makes a deal with them, and now they're there. They can't go back on other platforms because they did things to get knocked off, to get welcomed by Rumble, and then all of a sudden one day you're going to find Rumble gets sold, gets bought, something happens, and all these people like Gorka and others are in big trouble. I think Rumble is a big trap that the left and establishment are running. It's like their Roach Motel, they probably call it. Steve Kane Show. I don't know. There's. Okay. Somebody said there's a live. I don't hear it. Steve Kane Show. Hold on. Someone called and said there's a live mic. I don't hear it. Hey, Mike. So, someone called and said there was a live mic. I don't hear anything.
Come see us 7 days a week at Nutrition World, Palm Beach Gardens.
Is there a mic in there? No, everything's down. I don't hear anything. No one's on the phone. Mics are off.
I don't know what they're hearing.
I don't hear it. Someone from the radio station would call or text us if it was, but I don't hear anything. I don't hear anything.
jurisdiction's always listening, so they would definitely call.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think they did something else.
Yeah.
Giving you options is the right thing to do.
Oh, you mean like when I let someone with less groceries go ahead in line? Sure, there's a part of me.
But do you guys understand what I mean, though, about a trap?
Go to a convenience store next time. And now they're sifting through coupons and my frozen foods are about to be frozen.
He's got my head cold, so he's wearing the mask for the head cold. No, there's no live mic.
To the Steve Kane Show with Brian.
All right, we are back. Every line on our board is lit, so you callers on hold, stand by. The phones are very busy. Steve Kane joining us. Hey, Steve.
Today, I gotta say.
Yeah, well, you know, that's what I like to do, is put a smile on men's faces in the morning. That's what I do.
Doesn't sound right.
No, it doesn't, does it? Before we get into that, though, callers on hold, stand by. You know, got a big announcement from Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting, and this is huge. This is a big deal, okay? You know, we've got this great governor, Ron DeSantis, so we've got new laws and regulations in Florida that are friendly to people and homeowners and businesses. And, you know, like in the old days, well, the old days were like just until not too long ago, right? Like literally days ago. If you had an insurance claim, you know, your insurance company, you can't deal with your insurance company. They're always out to not pay you. You'd have to hire a public adjuster or an attorney, and a public adjuster like gets a whole chunk of your settlement. You know, you got to make that up to pay for whatever repairs you need. Well, we have new laws in Florida. So if you're a homeowner, a business owner that has property, you're with a homeowners association, and you have a roof that's damaged, it's compromised, call your insurance company and then call Tom Laporta. Listen to this. There are new laws in effect here in the state of Florida that allow Tom Laporta from Laporta Contracting to negotiate directly with your insurance company on the cost of the repairs. So you don't have to go to a public adjuster or an attorney, which is very expensive or takes a part of your settlement. Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting can deal directly with your insurance company. Now listen, if you need an adjuster, if you need an attorney, you know, he can recommend some that are good guys that he's worked with, that he knows will do you right. But because of this new law that we have in Florida, Tom Laporta can deal directly with your insurance company. It will save you boatloads of money. Public adjusters, they do good work, but they take a chunk of that. And you got to make up that chunk to pay for the repairs, because the insurance company is only going to give you what the final deal is, right? So if they take 20%, and you got to come up with that other 20% out of your own pocket. If Tom's dealing directly with the insurance company, you don't have to do that. It's amazing. Now listen, Tom Laporta and Laporta Contracting cover the entire state of Florida. He's a good MAGA guy. He'll never sell you a roof you don't need. And this number I'm going to give you rings directly to Tom Laporta's cell phone, all right? 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. That's 954-604-4602, and online, laportacontracting.com. All right, well, we got a full board of calls, Steve. What do you want to do? All right, let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I guess Brian, Capper, Pennsylvania.
Hey, Pennsylvania. What's up?
Yeah, I'm watching your show here now. You're a big Trump supporter. I'm a big Trump supporter. But I'm not so sure that Trump and Ron are allies. That's not the vibe I get from it. Trump's been doing some hard attacks on him.
Okay, now you got to turn the volume down of whatever device you're listening to us on because of the delay. I heard what you said, but it's confusing. So turn that down, and then I'm going to explain to you. All right, yeah, we'll hold on. Yeah, the 150,000 people listening, they'll all hold on. Well, while you turn down the volume, just let us know. Don't get nervous. It's a slow day, only 150,000. Okay. I thought until about a week ago that they were working against one another. And then all of a sudden, I started to see some things that made me think that DeSantis and Trump are working together. And now this news story that we have over the weekend, I think, is proof of that. And here's the new thing that I am going to share with you. Over the weekend, Ron DeSantis spoke at a private meeting, at a private event at Trump's resort in Miami, Trump Doral. And then Trump spoke after. Didn't say anything about DeSantis. DeSantis speaking to Trump Doral is like DeSantis going to Mar-a-Lago. So I think that's proof that they're working together. Now we got another little piece. Richie the bus driver, one of our callers, he's a little too opinionated sometimes, but he picked up on something I didn't that was brilliant. In the last campaign, Trump did not have an opponent, so he got no TV time or exposure for debates. There were no debates. The Democrats had a bunch of debates. They were all televised. Sarah Palin last night was on Newsmax. She was interviewed by Eric Bolling and said that Trump, and she's an advisor and confidant of Trump, she said that Trump, the more opponents, the merrier, right? He wants as many primary opponents as possible. If he has all these primary opponents, that means we have multiple primetime network television and cable news events with Trump getting this TV time that they would never give him before. They're not going to carry the rallies, they'll carry the debates. Ron DeSantis, they love, they'll definitely cover it with Ron DeSantis there. So we want to have half a dozen, we want to have 10 opponents. It'll give Trump, and the latest polls that I have today show that Trump has a double-digit lead over his closest rival, which is Ron DeSantis. So yeah, so DeSantis and Trump not only are working together, they have the most brilliant 2024 election strategy. It's something that's never been done before. It's so brilliant.
Yeah, but don't you think, this worries me, don't you think that DeSantis could possibly primary Trump?
No. DeSantis is 43 years old. He's not going to alienate the Trump MAGA base that he...
Look,
I know.
Two guys with humongous egos, and you can't always control that. You know, it's like when two brothers play wrestling outside, and you know, no one wants to hurt anybody. It's just a kind of a friendly, you know, like game kind of thing.
No.
And the other guy gets mad because he got hit and hurt, and he strikes back.
No, you could not be more wrong. And I'll tell you, and caller, don't be nervous. Okay, Ron DeSantis is 43 years old, okay? In Florida, we have term limits. This is his last term as governor. He's got nowhere to go because we've got two senators that are very popular and entrenched, right? We got Little Marco, and Rick Scott was governor before DeSantis, okay? They're not going anywhere. So he's going to finish his term. Trump will put him in the cabinet. He's 43 years old and a very smart man, Ron DeSantis. He knows that if he put up a real run against Trump, he would have the mark of Pence. He'd be like a Benedict Arnold. It would be an unforgivable sin, and he'd be done.
I agree with your theory on that, but that assumes that everybody sticks to the script and nothing happens.
Well, you know, if you got, you both of you are people that like to worry and have misery and see the negative. I see the I thought this for the last week.
Possibility.
He was at a private event with Trump over the weekend at Trump's resort in Miami. DeSantis. I think that firms it up.
I think what you're saying is a possibility. There's no question. No question it's a realistic possibility. I'm saying you can't predict it to a certainty because you're dealing with two very finely tuned egos.
I don't think so. I don't think there's. I don't think with Trump. I think the ego with Trump is a persona. It's more than reality. I think he's more grounded than people give him credit for. I don't think he makes decisions based on ego.
I agree that we should be positive about it, and I like the scenario you paint, and it's entirely possible.
Well, the evidence backs me up. And I'll tell you, I've been ahead of this game for the last couple weeks. I've been ahead of these stories over and over again. Project Veritas firing O'Keefe, the missile story yesterday, that it was everything. I've been ahead of everything lately, and I'm on a streak. And this private meeting.
Your lips to God's ears. I hope what you're saying turns out, because I'm getting pretty discouraged with the media give you this one side.
Well, that's because of the media. That's because you watch Fox. I've been telling you, you got to get off Fox. You know, I know they took Newsmax off your DirecTV, so you can't go to Newsmax. But you know, but that's it.
Let's put it that way.
Well, I mean, if you want to, okay, all right. Thanks for the call. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. There's only one opening on our very busy board where Pennsylvania was at. Our number 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. Back after this.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show.
Oh man, now I think the evidence more than backs up my theory here. Where am I? Steve Kane Show. Yes. Oh, YouTube is fine. That's fine. YouTube, you can. It's not on the radio. That's you can always hear off air on YouTube. All right, thanks. Someone called and said we have an open mic. I'm like, there's no open mic. He said it's on YouTube because I leave my mic on YouTube. No, there's no open mic. I'd hear myself in the headphones or in the speakers here. What happened? What did I miss with D? Stay inside or call animal control. What's happening? Is there a gator outside? What happened? What did I miss with D? Bobcat. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. They may not do anything about a bobcat. I've never you call about a gator or a Florida bobcat, which are in danger, they'll tell you you're in their territory. Wow. That's awful. That's a bad one. Gators I don't worry about. Gators won't bother you. But a bobcat. Are Florida bobcats still endangered? No, bobcats will eat. Yeah, they'll. Yeah. All right, we are back, and there's only one opening on our board at 1-888-GO-CANE 1. One of our listeners, Steve, during the break in the chat room, they have a Florida bobcat outside their back door of their house. I've never seen that before. yeah, especially for your pets. I've heard of we all have gators around, but I've never seen a Florida bobcat. I don't know if I've called with gators really won't bother you too much. Most people that you hear about getting eaten by alligators, what happens is they walk their dogs by the lake by their house, and the dog sees the gator. The dog goes after the gator, and they try to save the dog, and then the gator grabs their arm, and then they pull you in the water and drown you. And then they put you under something to soften you up and come back and eat you a couple days later. Gators don't really bother you. I'm not afraid. But a bobcat, I would not... I've never heard of someone spotting a Florida bobcat. Well, if they're out in a residential area, they're probably hungry, so yeah. But animal could, I don't know who you call about that, because I've called about gators once or twice. And they always give you the same answer. Well, you're in their habitat. I imagine same goes for the, we had a coyote in the neighborhood that was eating pets, and they wouldn't come out for a coyote. They said, you're in the, in Florida, it's all the Everglades, you're in their territory. So the community had to hire someone to catch the coyote. Yeah, and I felt very bad about it. I did not know what they did when they catch the coyotes. They euthanize them. They euthanized it. I was pretty ticked. I thought they would release it out in the Everglades, but they euthanized it. It was terrible. I know it was eating people's dogs and stuff, but come on, that was a bit much. It's but a bobcat. I've never heard of a Floridian having are Florida bobcats still endangered? They used to be endangered. I don't know if they still are. But don't mess with the bobcat. I don't know who you call. I'd probably call the sheriff's office. There was a gator when my daughter was in elementary school. Her elementary school was by a lake where the crossing was, right, in our neighborhood. And there was a gator in the lake. So a Palm Beach sheriff's deputy came and had his gun out. And I'm like, what's he going to do with the gun? He's going to shoot the gator? And it might ricochet and hit a kid. I mean, it was... And the thing with the gators, when if you shoot a gator, unless you hit them right between the eyes, you're just going to tick it off. You got to shoot them between. That's why you go gator hunting at night. You see the light, and their eyes turn red, and you shoot between the red dots. That's between their eyes. I've heard many stories of people, they go gator hunting. They don't know what they're doing, right? And all they've done is knock the gator out. They put the gator in the boat, and it wakes up when they're on their way back to the marina. So no, you don't want to mess with it. All right. Anyway, let's go to the. I can talk about gators and stuff all day. All right. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. That's our number. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
PJ from Broward.
Hey, PJ.
Hey, did you notice? I don't know. What?
What's up?
What's up is this Nikki Haley when she... has anybody asked her why she broke her big promise last year not to run against Trump if he ran? Because, I mean, that's a big major thing to me. I mean, she promised she would not run if Trump ran, and now she's running.
Well, if my theory about Ron DeSantis is true, which I believe it is, it could also be, Nikki Haley could be part of the plan, too.
I don't. Okay. I think you're right about DeSantis, but yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why Nikki Haley's running. What else does she got to do? What else? She was governor. And by the way, she was South Carolina. She betrayed the voters of South Carolina. When she ran for governor, the big issue was the Confederate flag on the State House. And I'm not a Confederate flag guy, okay? I'm a Yankee, But she was defending the Confederate flag, and one of her first actions was to take the Confederate flag off the State House, and she put it at a park across the street. And I remember talking about it on the show at the time. Nikki Haley cannot be trusted. She has a history of lying, and that was a big one. So no, I don't trust her, and I don't appreciate her victim video. Starts out that she's a big outcast because there's no other Indian Americans.
Yeah. Hey, and another one, definitely, I mean, this one, you can't argue with this. He's not working with Trump at all. He's like a punk. He's like a snarky little punk.
Pence?
That guy.
Oh, Sununu?
Yeah, he's like, he makes these snarky little remarks, So I am hoping that he actually does run because I want to see him humiliated on the campaign stage during the debates.
Yeah, he's one of these. Yeah, well, there's a lot of them that are bad. No one's worse than Pence. Pence. I'll tell you why Pence is. Not only we call him Benedict Arnold. He's now a collaborator. Pence, he got Biden off the hook with the classified documents. All of a sudden, Pence had classified documents in his house, and that story went away because he started this narrative that everybody has classified documents at home. So he collaborates with the enemy.
Yeah, but doesn't that sort of also? Well, yeah, but in a
This
way
is
that's
this
sort
is
of,
Dee's Bobcat.
okay,
She
yeah,
took
I see what
the.
you're saying.
She sent me that picture.
But, and then there's some that are just flat out delusional, like John Bolton. I mean, come on, with that face. I mean, he doesn't.
Well, yeah, and that barbershop quartet mustache he's got going on and everything. I mean, he's an idiot. Yes. Okay. That's the cue for me to hang up on you when Steve says that. That's how we communicate. All right. Listen, it's time for a break. Anyway, it's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with.
Yeah, Dee just sent me this picture. Is that crazy? Don't mess with it. That's the picture. That's the bobcat outside our house. I would not mess with this one. A lot of people wouldn't know that's a bobcat and think it's some kitty, because look at the face. That is not cool. That thing will eat you. If they're in a residential neighborhood and the sun's out, they're hungry. Yeah, he's pissed. He's hungry. And Dee's house is in its, habitat. So.
I think a little bit of the section's going to be cut out.
That's fine. No problem.
Turn to that blue screen and then just reset for no reason.
Idea of parents' rights. All right, we have to talk about this right-wing idea of parents' rights. It's literally just fascism. As far as I can tell, parents' rights means allowing parents to control their kids, even in ways that are harmful to their kids. Obviously, as an educator, I believe strongly in the importance of parents and families and other primary caregivers instilling moral.
I'm watching this Libs of TikTok video, checking it for profanity before I play it on the air.
And principles in their kids. I see educators' role as partnering with parents and other caregivers to form a collaborative support network for every child. However, some parents and caregivers unfortunately do not support their kids the way they should. That's part of why the public school system works with social services to make sure kids are taken care of. It's why schools work to connect parents with resources to help them learn how to support their children if and when they need help. The fact of the matter is, parents and caregivers who reject their children's gender identities are not taking care of their children. Kids whose families refuse to affirm their child's true gender identity are at greatly increased risk of suicide attempts, self-harm, substance abuse, homelessness, low academic performance, and other serious mental health issues. Conservatives who claim that their real concern is parents' rights are just trying to use a family-friendly excuse for wanting trans people to not exist.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, okay. I had to check it for profanity. April 27th, you guys should join us of 2024. Yeah, we're going to Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, and man, this one is going to be incredible. We're planning the excursions and things on these islands, which are top islands. It's going to be the hugest, most blown away thing we've ever done. Yeah, call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot, guys. If you call him now, you can pay over time, make payments. Oh yeah, you don't want to mess with them. Coyotes and bobcats are very dangerous. But if they're in a residential neighborhood during the day, they're even more dangerous. They're starving. You probably would have, I don't know what they can do about a bobcat. I've never seen one in the wild before. Not in a residential neighborhood. I've seen them out in the Everglades doing, and I've been hunting wild boar and stuff. I've seen them, but never. Yeah, call in and join us. You can make payments over time. It's over a year away. And this one is the excursions we're planning. The activities are just amazing. We're taking the cruise we were going to take that COVID shut down. You know, and 3/4 of the people that went on the cruise are from YouTube and my podcast, not from the radio. 3/4 are YouTube watchers and people who listen to the podcast. So you guys that are listen to my podcast and you're here on YouTube, you'll have a lot of friends. All right, we are back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve back with us again today. Sounding much better today, Steve. Okay, now before we get back to Trump and DeSantis and the politics, I found something during the break that I'm going to play for you in the listening audience. It's from Libs of TikTok. Libs from TikTok is so important. One of the most important conservative activists of the last couple of generations, and is actually Libs of TikTok is a woman who has a Twitter account. And what she does is she monitors TikTok mainly for school teachers who put things up about what they're doing in their classrooms on TikTok, and she just puts the video up on Twitter. And the liberals have been after her pretty bad. Governor DeSantis offered her safety by staying. People threatened Libs of TikTok. Her identity was known. She's been on Tucker Carlson, and Governor DeSantis said that if she feels that she is need of protection, she can stay at the governor's mansion in Tallahassee. The reason that Governor DeSantis took over Walt Disney World is because of Libs of TikTok, by the way. So anyway, there's a new video on Libs of TikTok. This is a school teacher talking about right-wing parents. And this is really scary. This school teacher, she's wearing those glasses like Elton John wears, and just a weirdo. And listen to this. Guys, you got to know, and parents and grandparents, don't let your kids be exposed to these teachers. Know what's going on in your kids' school. Okay, find your kids' teachers on social media, and follow them, and make sure you know who's teaching your kids. Listen to this. This is a school teacher. Nose ring, Elton John glasses, very androgynous style of dress. I think a biological female, talking about right-wing parents. Listen.
All right, we have to talk about this right-wing idea of parents' rights.
Did you hear that? We've got to talk about this right-wing idea of parents' rights. That's a right-wing idea? I thought that was like a human idea, but anyway.
All right, we have to talk about this right-wing idea of parents' rights. It's literally just fascism. As far as I can tell, parents' rights means allowing parents to control their kids, even in ways that are harmful to their kids.
Wow. So we need school teachers with rainbow Elton John glasses and nose rings to tell us what's best for our children.
Obviously, as an educator, I believe strongly in the importance of parents and families and other primary caregivers instilling morals and discipline and principles in their kids. I see educators' role as partnering with parents and other caregivers to form a collaborative support network for every child. However, some parents and caregivers unfortunately do not support their kids the way they should.
So it's up to the state teachers, the teachers who work for the government, to decide what's best for your children.
That's part of why the public school system works with social services to make sure kids are taken care of. It's why schools work to connect parents with resources to help them learn how to support their children if and when they need the help. The fact of the matter is, parents and caregivers who reject their children's gender identities are not taking care of their children. Kids whose families refuse to affirm their child's true gender identity are at greatly increased risk of suicide attempts, self-harm, substance abuse, homelessness, low academic performance, and other serious mental health issues. Conservatives who claim that their real concern is parents' rights are just trying to use a family-friendly excuse for wanting trans people to not exist.
Okay. And that's not just some wackadoodle teacher. And yeah, but you know, this is what's scary. This teacher, she currently teaches in a classroom somewhere in America, and she's talking this way, showing her face and her name and everything on TikTok for anyone to see, and has so what she's saying is so normal and acceptable in public schools today, not in Florida, but outside of Florida, that they're not even hiding what they're doing now. And, you know, when you go to the parents' night, that's not enough, okay? That's not enough. Okay, now I got another update on Trump that I've not read this story yet. Oh, my goodness. This is a South Florida story with Trump. Oh, Club 45, which is the largest MAGA club in America, meets right here down the street at the Palm Beach Airport, where Trump Force One is at, right? President Trump, oh my goodness. President Trump makes surprise call to Club 45 and will be delivering a speech there on February 20th, which is less than a week away, 5 days away. Oh my God, they're probably already lined up. You know, Steve, everything that's going on this week with Trump shows that everything is going according to plan. This is just a great week of news for the, you know, you look at what's going on. You know, I was reading today, everyone's talking about egg prices. You know, a dozen eggs now cost more than a pound of beef? Isn't that nuts? And I don't think that's Kobe beef they're talking. You know, I think they're talking about, you know, like sirloin. You know, hamburger is yeah. I mean, prices are up about 70% on food, and they're blaming swine flu. You know, give me a break, okay? It's not swine flu. It's Biden. That's what it is. It's Biden. And prices are going to continue to go up and up and up and up. You know, and when we're in a country where eggs cost more than a pound of beef, that means people are making some very difficult decisions, like how much they're going to eat today. And that's a decision that people haven't had to make in this country in a long time. And Biden, they're saying that the economy is doing well, that inflation's okay at the White House yesterday. You know, well, you know, the thing is, they talk about, you know, if you watch liberal media, all they talk about are people in groups, right? Suburban women, right? They talk all the time. And they, you know, oh, well, you know, we'll talk about abortion. We'll get to suburban women. In most households, not just mine, but in most households, women control the family budget, right? Women do the shopping. They do the grocery shopping. They pay the bills. They balance the checkbook. Women in this country know more than anyone else how expensive things are at the grocery store. And, you know, I don't go to the grocery store too much. We do Instacart, where they have the groceries delivered, and that's cheaper because you don't buy anything extra, right? If I go to the grocery store, I go to Publix yesterday, I picked up a pumpkin pie, you know. If I do Instacart, the pumpkin pie doesn't come home, so it's less money to have the groceries delivered. But when I'm in line at Publix now, and some of you may have this experience, this is much different than any other experience I've ever had in line at the grocery store. And that is people in line, including the cashiers, commenting on the high price of everything. I've never heard, and you were talking about strangers, right? And the cashiers feel fine too. I guess Publix doesn't mind. Publix is run by a very conservative, pro-Trump, pro-DeSantis family. The Publix family. But they're openly griping about the prices at the cash registers. I've never seen that before, and it's every time I go to the grocery store almost, especially with the cashier. And that's how bad things are. So the Democrats have no hope of winning the suburban women they're always talking about, because the suburban women know how much it costs to buy groceries now, and it's expensive. Things like eggs used to be cheap, really, if you think about it, and they're not cheap. They're unaffordable now. People are. I don't even have eggs in my refrigerator. My wife always has eggs. There's no eggs in my refrigerator. We don't have kids at home. And we're cutting back and making choices on what we have at home because things are just too expensive. I've been telling you guys, I started talking about this earlier this week, and I didn't just make this up. This is true. My wife and I discovered it's cheaper to eat out than eat at home now, and it's always the opposite. This is a new phenomenon. You're supposed to make food at home. It's going to be cheaper. No more. And restaurants, you got to feel bad for them. They got to be competitive. Right? So they're cutting their margins and cutting their profits. It's tough. And, Anne Marie's in Pompano, you get takeout of Anne Marie's, and I always am, even before, when we first met Anne Marie's, my first meal at Anne Marie's, I took home and had for dinner and had some lunch the next morning because the portions are so huge. Every portion I've gotten at Anne Marie's is for two. I mean, you would think, but it's not. That's just their portions are large. And so you go over to Anne Marie's in Pompano. Those Italian favorites are my favorite. The baked ziti, the lasagna, the spaghetti and meatballs are out of this world. Everything is homemade. All the sauce is homemade. Grandma's recipes. Grandma right in the kitchen. Their pizzas are out of this world. And Steve, you've I did not know you could do this, but you freeze the pizzas and then reheat them, and they're like right out of the oven. Yeah. So you go to Anne Marie's in Pompano, get takeout. It's what my wife and I are doing, and you'll have a couple days of meals, and it's less than going to the grocery store these days. That's a fact. Okay, Anne Marie's in Pompano is located on the northwest corner of US 1 Federal Highway and Copans Road in the same plaza as the movie theater. When you stop in, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio. All right, and and don't forget the lobster ravioli, Steve. The lobster ravioli. The first bite of food I had at Anne Marie's was the lobster ravioli, because we ordered our lunch, and you ordered the lobster ravioli as an appetizer, which I never would have even thought of ordering. And I took that first bite of the lobster ravioli. I knew we were in some place special, and everything is homemade, including the raviolis. And the lobster they use is fresh Maine lobster, and they use the claw meat, which is the best meat in the lobster. It's just out of this world. And the lobster ravioli is available as an appetizer or an entree. It goes with everything. I'll get pizza and I'll get the lobster ravioli appetizer. And the lobster ravioli goes with every dish at Anne Marie's. Again, they're located in Pompano, northwest corner of US 1 Federal Highway and Copans Road in the same plaza as the movie theater. All right, so we'll take a... okay, all right. We're trying to track down William Youngerman. You might get the amateur gold report today, guys. I'm warning you, okay, because we don't have William Youngerman on the line. So if we don't have William Youngerman, you get the amateur gold report, which is me going to WilliamYoungerman.com and reading off. But I'll wait a couple minutes. We'll see if we can track down William Youngerman before I do that. Steve, this story, though, that I was... been talking about today with Ron DeSantis working with President Trump, I think by this time next week, other people will pick up on it. Because the fact, I think they've been working together the whole time. And DeSantis going to the Doral just was them coming out of the closet with it. Okay, now you guys in the audience, you got very lucky. You're going to get the professional gold report with William Youngerman, not the amateur one with me. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how are the metals looking today?
Metals giving us the best buying opportunity we've had in quite a while, and that's maybe on the heels of a very strong U.S. dollar and the concerns over continued rising interest rates. But that all being very temporary, we look at that as just a buying opportunity. Yesterday we saw gold stabilize around 1854. That was up 70 cents, $1,854 an ounce on gold. Silver was down 16 cents at $21.82. Platinum was down $24 at $932, and palladium closed down $70 at $1,418. This morning, as I said, the markets are under pressure. Overnight gold trading in a range of $1,832 to $1,861, and right now gold's at $1,836. That's down $18. Silver down 32 cents at $21.50 the ounce. Platinum down $7 at $925. And palladium down another $38 at $1,380. That's the lowest numbers we've seen on palladium in, I'm guessing, a couple of years. And platinum still holding nicely above 900, so still a great buying opportunity there. Silver down to $21.50 after hitting a high of almost around $24.50 a week or so ago, giving us a great buying opportunity on silver. And gold down from its high of $1,960 to $1,836 this morning, another great buying opportunity.
What are some of the best buys in gold and silver today?
Best buys in gold and silver right now are just about everything. We have everything in stock with much lower premiums than they were a year ago. So you can get the gold eagles in 10th ounce, quarter ounce, half ounce, and 1 ounce sizes. Of course, all the Australian products are very reasonably priced. The 1 ounce gold bars, as well as the 1 ounce kangaroo coins in pure gold and silver products. We have eagles at a much better price than we've seen in years, and of course all the other country products.
Yeah, so the American Silver Eagles, very good deals now. Some of the best prices and a long time on them at William Youngerman's too. And the other Eagles he was talking about are the American Gold Eagles, and those premiums coming down. I mean, it's like you're getting the metals are on sale is what we're telling you today. Give William Youngerman a call. He opens up at 10 a.m. His number, 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010. Online, williamyoungerman.com, or stop right in at 150 East Palmetto Park Road on the first floor of the Bank of America building in Boca, which is immediately east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. When William Youngerman tells you got a buying opportunity, jump in. And don't forget, when you call or stop in, ask him about the platinum too. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk tomorrow. All right, back after this. All right, welcome back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. Oh, man. And, you know, General Milli Vanilli backed up yesterday. Did you see his press conference, General Milli Vanilli, with the Defense Secretary yesterday? Yeah, you know, some liberals yesterday during the show. I was talking about, by the way, I mean, I'm going to throw this out to the audience. That guy, General Milley, has more medals and ribbons on his chest than any American I've ever seen, except for Audie Murphy. Yeah, Audie Murphy may have had that many. He was the highest decorated soldier in the Second World War. And there's a picture going around, you know, of the first chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff was Eisenhower. And because they changed things, you know, and all that stuff. There's a picture, or he was the head of NATO. I don't know if he was chairman of the Joint, but anyway, there's a picture going around of Eisenhower's official portrait in uniform next to Milley. And Milley, you know, he's got the Audie Murphy thing going on with all the ribbons and medals. And Eisenhower, who won the Second World War and defeated the Nazis and saved freedom and saved the Jews and liberated the concentration camps, he's got just a couple little ribbons on his chest, as opposed to this creep who's going around like Audie Murphy. You know, he's a jerk. But during yesterday's show, during yesterday's show, some liberals were saying, well, how do you know that it was a Chinese aircraft? It was over like yesterday. General Milli Vanilli was embarrassed into admitting he said it was a Chinese aircraft over Lake Huron, and that the first missile missed. But when the press just suck. They, the thing about being a top member of the press is the follow-up question is more important than the original question, okay? They asked the question about the missile missing, but they didn't ask the follow-up. Millie went on this, I'm not going to play this for you, it's all over television. He went on this long-winded answer about how they make sure that there's clearance every direction that a missile can go, which is complete BS, by the way. The missile's got 22-mile range. You're over the United States of America. How can you, come on. Where in America is there no one within a 22-mile radius like that? Give me a break, But anyway, he said we watched the missile go down. And it hit the lake, and there were no follow-ups about a recovery effort. Right? Is the missile at the bottom of the lake? If so, how deep? Right? Could some kids go out there with scuba gear? I know it's cold, and go down and get it. Is it floating? I didn't hear one question about the team. By the way, did it detonate? Is it armed? Could it still explode? There were no follow-ups.
First thing about this administration, I mean, the guy at the top is, the president is hopeless. But everybody he hired, everybody in his administration, even the military, because you know me, I'm very pro-military, all his appointments, all the people that worked for him, every department, they were all incompetent. And even the head of Millie's one of the top, I think he may be the top official. I don't know
if Millie is incompetent or compromised. You know what I mean? Because I remember after January 6th, we found out on January 6th that he called his counterpart in the Chinese army to let him know that everything was okay and he had everything under control. Why would he be? That sounds like collaboration to me. Why is he calling the Chinese army, on January 6th? That was crazy. So I don't know. Now, the Defense Secretary, Lloyd Austin, now that's incompetence. He's too stupid to be a collaborator. He's just an idiot. In fact, you watched the press conference yesterday. Usually, secretaries of defense are very commanding guys, right? They're not all military guys, or if they were in the military, they might have been, a lower-ranking officer. They might not have all been generals like this guy. But they're commanding figures who take charge of the room. Every press conference with Austin and Millie's always running the show. Not this, and that's a big deal. What? Why?
Yeah, he looks like a lost soul to me.
Oh my goodness, Steve! Every time you feel sorry for all these checkmark people because you see your sons there. Every time you see a black man, you relate to them because you're sons.
He does. You don't see a difference between Millie and
Millie is running the Defense Department, not Lloyd Austin. Lloyd Austin is a textbook example of affirmative action. He is vacuous. He is an idiot. I mean, it's scary. He was a 4-star general. I mean, my goodness. And it's I've never seen a press conference. Usually the press conferences, the defense secretary is at the podium, and the Joint Chiefs guy and all the rest, they're standing behind him, and he may bring them over to clarify something, and they have a commanding press conference. With Austin, every press conference, they're right next to each other, and Millie's answering all the questions. If Lloyd Austin gets a question, he always defers to Millie. The military in the United States is supposed to be under civilian control, okay? Not military control. And this guy is overstepped so many times. Remember, when Trump was in his first term, he released that video attacking President Trump. That's insubordination. He should have been court-martialed with Vindman for that one. He took control of the nuclear weapons after January 6th. He's calling up China. On January 6th, he was colluding with Pelosi on January 6th. This guy, and now the way he is with Lloyd Austin, I don't like this guy, but he's the Secretary of Defense. The military is being run by the military, which is not the way it's supposed to be. I'd like to see, what I would like to ask, we only have a minute left, so I don't know if we've got time, but he has so many medals and ribbons on his chest, this Audie Murphy thing he's going through. Has he ever been in combat? Has he ever been in combat? How did he get so many medals and ribbons? I mean, I don't know. I don't even know if they're real. It's very strange. Very strange. I don't know. He's a bad dude. He's a really bad guy.
They're hurry up and get a new president who...
Well, let's hope the new one is Trump and not Kamala, the next one, I mean... No, let me tell you, I'm so happy that the presidential campaign is going on because, a caller called in earlier and picked up on something I had not seen. Who's the guy that's married to the Chinese lady in this? Mitch McConnell. I knew his name. I just wanted to get the reference in there. Mitch McConnell, a caller called me about this, was asked the other day if he thinks it's still time to move on from Trump. And he avoided the question and moved on. Normally he would say yes. So what we're seeing now is the campaign starting. Trump just had this huge victory with the Speaker of the House. And and Mitch McConnell thinks that Trump's coming back in 2024 to be the president. That's why he answered that way. That gives some security to the country. Knowing that Trump will be back in 2024 will let Russia and China know, hey, we better back off here because Trump's coming back. Yeah, Trump's coming back, and he's not like this guy. He's not on the take, and we can't have, so... Okay, now, I know you don't have one yet, Steve, but you got to get it. The new MyPillow, the MyPillow 2.0 it's called, and my wife and I, we took all the other MyPillows off our bed. They're guest pillows now, and we have the MyPillow 2.0. The MyPillow 2.0 has cooling technology in it so that your head and face never get hot at night. You know how you get hot, you flip the pillow over? The cooling technology inside the new MyPillow 2.0, you'll never flip your pillow again. When you flip your pillow, you're interrupting your sleep, right? You don't want to interrupt your sleep. It has that patented fill inside, too. The MyPillow 2.0 is buy one, get one free right now with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. Now, I was in a meeting with Mike Lindell's office earlier this week. The MyPillow 2.0 is selling faster and in larger numbers than they predicted. Because they thought, people got MyPillows already. They knew people would buy it, but not this many. So when they start to run low, the BOGO offer is going to disappear. So I ordered two. I ordered it on Monday, had it on Wednesday. Go to MyPillow.com, use our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, buy one, get one free. You can also order by phone, 800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. We're all out of time for today, but we will be back bright and early tomorrow at 6 a.m. Callers on hold, well, you can hang on till tomorrow and you'll be at the front of the line. God bless America and God bless Donald Trump.
WWNN AM Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indian Town.
All right, guys. Listen, I got to run. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and like the video before.